my wife, Sylvia Clark. Now, of the three of us that work with the bears, I consider myself to be the most handsome. Not quite the reaction I was hoping for, but I'm used to it. Now, you're here to see the bears perform, but before we bring them out to do that, we'd like to give you a little bit of background information to make this educational as well as entertaining. So we'll cover a few facts and figures associated with these beautiful creatures. However, I do realize that it's a warm afternoon and many of you have been waiting for quite some time, so I'll try yours of aid. Sweetheart, could you tumble the barrel for me, please? Thank you. Keep on going. All the way. One more time. Now, jump up on top. And here's the prize. She is drinking a mixture of milk and honey. She doesn't like it, but we make her drink it. They all love dairy products, milk, ice cream, cheese. Some of the wild bears even like the cows themselves. You don't have to ruin the can. That was a naughty thing to do. Yep. All right. Yep, it's all right. I'll hand that off. Here's a little prize. You better follow Maureen. Right over to the drum, up on top. Now, put it in gear, slip the clutch, and peel rubber. Go like 60. And if no one's watching, do 70. We call this rig the Bear Mobile. And on a good day, we can get about 13 miles per gallon of ice cream with it. Not too shabby for this neck of the woods. And that one's still in development. Just like that joke. All right, we'll run it up onto the bumper. Watch out there. Okay, you're in a real hurry today. Here we go, and I'm going to hand that to you. We'll find a home for that later. All right, now you'll notice that my little friend Darla is entirely brown. She is still a North American black bear. However, she's known as the cinnamon, and she'll remain brown her entire life. She has a very light-colored muzzle and a pink nose. Her coloring reminds me an awful lot of a chocolate lab. However, her temperament is a little spicier than that. All shed in the summer months. Young ones shed early on, older ones towards the latter part of the summer. But by the full moon of August, they're all done shedding last year's coat, and then the new ones arrive from Burlington Coat Factory. You skipped a trick. Don't you dare get on that. She's eating ice cream right through the barrel.
Obi!
Have you ever seen such a thing in your life? That's the only time the ice cream is truly safe. You know, they all want to hold the ice cream pony, but you can't let them. They break the handle. Well, you're not doing such a great job this show, so I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little bit of money, and I get a taste. You don't like ice cream? Looks like I'm caught in a bear trap. A real live one. Your fingernails, darling. You're going to put a rug in my stockings. You better watch that. You're pulling my pants down. And they want to see you bear, not me bear. She's giving me the signal. She wants to gargle. Are you ready? You know what the best advice my dad gave me about working with the bears was? He said, don't ever put your fingers in the bear's mouth. Like that. He said, whatever you do, Marie, you don't even want to try it. Like that. They might come out like that. But they grow back in the winter. Tough crowd today. Here, a taste for you. I'll hand that off, and oh, look, you're suddenly ready to help me. Yes, where do you think you're going? I'd like you to join. Don't you dare touch that scooter. I don't want to do the scooter now. Well, you're a naughty pants today. Well, the first time she ever saw a scooter, she was about this big, and she was in our kitchen. Darla and our friend Hildy lived in our kitchen for about 2 months. You know, you haven't really lived until you've raised bear cubs in the kitchen of your home. And Darla is the first bear we've ever had who was able to change direction on the scooter. Watch this. She can turn it back around and go the other way. Not bad. Why don't you park it? Yeah, right about there is a good place. Okay, into the barrel then. You made that look very awkward. I bet some of you would like to take her home with you, wouldn't you? It would be a long car ride home. Almost as long as the car ride home with those new pop guns you've got. Now, inside this ball are peanuts in the shell, and all of our bears get these during the day. They roll them back and forth on the ground there. His name is Mishka. He drags the ball to the swimming pool, submerges it, and then all the peanuts float to the top. They're very clever, or as they say down in Massachusetts, wicked smart. Well, kid, I'm going to take that ball back. I was hoping to try to get those somersaults done. Could you do it?
Okay.
Right there. Go ahead. Very good. Sylvia says these aren't called somersaults. They're actually called cinnamon rolls. All right, kid, you can do it. I want you to do it on your own. Very good. I'm proud of you. Now, we've got this rig over here. You've done a very good job of working hard to not work this show. So, why don't you just climb up inside your custom-built chariot? Yes, you. Why don't you get in there, sit down, and try to relax a little. That's right. You just, because your hand is so heavy. Oh, yes, oh, a little bit more. That one right there. Well, folks, what did you think of our delinquent little friend, Darla? She did the best she could. And you know, we're very proud of her. Now, we're going to take her back home, but don't go away. We're coming right back out as fast as we can with our next performer. We just have to set up a few props and we shall return. Hildy, all the way from Idaho, and her first order of business is to drink from a bear can. You can find bear cans along the edges of the highways here in New Hampshire. Parking lots, back alleyways, wherever the wild bears drop them, I guess. And when she's done drinking the can, she will not drop it on the ground and walk off like a people. Oh, she has better manners than that. That's right, she recycles. Good job, Hildy. Now it's up into the swing chair. Our friend Hildy does a lot of things very well, and swinging in this chair is not one of them. We have to remind her to stay seated in the chair. She has a habit of jumping out of the chair at the wrong time because she's so excited to get in here and go on to the next stunt. So I'm reminding her. Maureen is paying her a little bit of money, but eventually here she jumps out like that. All right, kid, we'll move forward. I will grab it. We'll get set up. Could you put on your purse? All right, now you have your accessories. And we've got you all fitted out nicely. Why don't you show them your brand new Balenciaga bag? Oh, isn't she lovely? Oh, yes, she is. A little Miss Bearmerica. Then it's back over here. Maureen will take the purse back. And I'm going to set this up over here. We'll put this little barrel right there. Hildy, could you tumble that barrel into position, please? Go ahead, you can do it. Very good. I'll set this bell, and I want you to ring that bell 6 times with your left paw. Go. Maureen can count. All right, that was, we'll test you. All right, Hildy, instead of using your right paw, use your left paw. Ring that bell 4 times this time. Could you do it 4 times? 4. Very good. Eventually, we're hoping to turn that into a bit of a game show. I was thinking we could call it Jet Berry. Well, she'll take nuts and berries for $200, Alex. Now it's time for a quick game of Frisbee. And you'll notice that Hildy gets very excited to play. She'll sit in the chair. Now watch her hands. She's saying, oh yes, throw the bell. Throw it to me. I'm going to catch it. Very good. Then she hands it back, and then a little taste, and then we'll try it again. Yes, Hildy, give Maureen the hand signal. Show her that you're ready to play. There it is, that's ready. Good catch. Oh, whoops. She says, look, I caught it. You know, these two play Frisbee all the time. You should see them down in Hampton Beach. Down there in the sun and the sand. Hildy in her bearkini. I think we better check the expiration date on this audience. Time for some bear jumping. Rarely witnessed in the woods, they hesitate to jump a distance greater than their own length. Their depth perception is not that good. And it's also hard for them to find brightly colored barrels out there. All right, kid, you sit right down and hold that spoon one-handed. Very good, don't drop it. I said don't drop it. You better pick that back up and hand it to Maureen. That's twice you've dropped it. That's better. That's her personal spoon. It has her name printed right into it. Now, let's see if we can get this one done. It's time for her dancing lessons. Hildy, could you do a few pirouettes right about there? A little sidestep and a pirouette. Here she goes. Oh, a hop and a skip. Oh, lovely. Notice how she throws her head way back like that? That is not a dance move. She's keeping her eye on the ice cream. Now she's on the scale to get weighed in. Remember, I told you when they're born, they weigh less than a pound. What do you get today, Maureen? 194 pounds at 2.5 years of age and growing. And what a beautiful girl she is. Now we're going to do a tough one. It's at this point of the show, I always get a headache. Whenever I get a headache, Hildy heads to that blue first aid cabinet and she pulls out the Bear aspirin. Those other brands just won't do. Now for the tough part. We've got to get that back into the cabinet. And this time, I want you to put it in on the... Don't look the audience over. Put it in on the shelf and then close the door to keep the small children out. Carefully. Very good. Now our little friend Hildy also plays a game we call basketball. And she is one of the best players we have ever had. She can catch the ball and then throw it back again. That's right. I'll stand over here. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. Back to Maureen. Then we have to pay Hildy, otherwise she gets out of the chair. We'll try again. Back to Maureen. And we pay her, otherwise she gets out of the chair. Bounce pass. Bounce pass. Back to Maureen. Notice how she only throws to Maureen? Maureen has the ice cream. Over to one side. And she's been practicing this since she was a little kid, and she's very good at it. You know, soon you'll see her all the way down in North Woodstock. There's only one problem, and that is called parking. How unimpressive that was. Hey, you know, you just left the scene of a runaway vehicle. Where did you get a driver's license? What's that? Massachusetts? Oh, the things they say in the ring. Is there anyone here from Massachusetts? Well, we're glad you came because you're our bread and butter. How about Rhode Island? Very good. Connecticut. Nicely done. Let's see, what about Maine? Outstanding. Vermont. They finally showed up. How about New Hampshire? Very good. Let's see. Anywhere else? And that, my friends, was the Bear Show, the best that we could do. Now, before we let you go, next up, train ride.